welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I have a very exciting video, which is TBR Pursuit. If you've been on BookTube or kind of on here lately, you've seen that basically different ways to kind of compile your TBR list have been really popular, especially with board games like Bookopoly. The first time that I saw this was on Books with Becca, and she has a Bookopoly series, and also I have seen Cody's Book Corner does her Wheel of TBR, and I really liked both of those ideas, but I wanted to do something a little bit different, and then I searched this after I made this, and someone else already has this, so I will link her channel down below. I didn't watch her video, so I don't know if it's similar to mine or not. Basically, I chose to do TBR Pursuit. I was debating on a few kind of different board games. I was debating between TBR Pursuit or like Candyland, but I decided for at least now to see how I like this one, which is TBR Pursuit. So if you've ever played Trivial Pursuit, it's basically that kind of game, except a little bit different. So Trivial Pursuit is basically obviously a trivia game, and I'm not going to be playing it that way. I'm going to kind of mix them up and make it my own kind of rules because it's my own board game. On total, there are 7 different colors on this board, and each color represent a different genre or other, which I will get into. So we have yellow, which is classics, because I want to read more classics in 2020. Orange is fantasy, because fantasy is my favorite and orange is my favorite color. We have light blue, which is contemporary. We have pink, which is romance. Purple, which are graphic novels. And green, which is other, which would include like nonfiction, mystery, you know, things like that. I will say for all of these kind of everything but classics, I didn't put YA or adult because I want to at least be able to have a little bit of a more wide range of things. So if I get romance, I can choose a YA romance or an adult romance. Same with contemporary, graphic novels, and fantasy. Classics, and there's not really, in general, I'm just going to do all the classics. And then we have like this kind of darker blue, more of a teal color, which is our cup challenge. So that is kind of be what I consider my trivia of the game. So basically in this jar I have compiled a bunch of different kind of, not challenges per se, but they're kind of guidelines of the books that I read. So in the cup challenges there can be a wide range of them, and I will be adding to them, you know, in the future. So I might have one where I have to I pick a number, and I pick a number 1 between whatever, and the whatever number that is on my bookshelf, I have to read it. Or I might have put down an adult one in there. I also have put down some of the genres that are not mentioned on here, so I have like my nonfictions, my mysteries, adult books, etc. We could have like an ebook / an audiobook. I might have to go to the library and use a library book like that. Or it has to be a big book. It has to be more than 500 pages. Or it has to be a short read. Things kind of like that. So I will kind of always take them out. I'm not going to, like, once I take that one, like, throw it away. I'll probably just put it back in here and add more as we go. So the way the Trivial Pursuit, I keep saying Trivia Pursuit, it's Trivial Pursuit. So the way that you normally play is each player has a little pie. My Trivial Pursuit that I have here at my grandma's house is a 90s version, and so they're really weird. So I don't know if I want to do like this retro kind of like almost, I don't remember what they're called, but I used to really want one of these like phones. Otherwise I have a cup of coffee, which I probably will do. So basically normally when you play this game, every time you land on a color, you have to kind of, you have to answer the question right, and if you get that question right, you get that color pie. And once you have the full pie, then you can make your way to the middle. The kind of way that I'm going to play this is every single month that I actually read all of the books that I'm supposed to, every month that this happens, I am going to give myself a little pie and put it in my little Trivia Pursuit kind of, whatever this is. What is this even called? Like my game piece. And also for each book that I read, I will be putting $1 into this little jar. It says beer fund on it, but because I gotta get Goodwill, I thought it was really cute. But this is going to be my book fund, because I'm going to be using this as a way to first read all of the books that I have on my shelf, or at least a majority of them, before I will allow myself to go out and buy books. So I might cave. I have a problem. We all do. So once I have gathered every single piece of pie and it is put in here and I have the complete piece, Then I will allow myself to take all of this money and go buy books, whether it's at Barnes & Noble, or I do an online order at Amazon or Book Outlet, or I go to Half Price Books, or wherever I go. So that's going to be my incentive to read all of the books, so that way in the 6 times, which probably doesn't make any sense, but I want to not spend my money as much. So that way, let's say I read about 6 books every month. So 6 times 6 books for 6 months, so 6 times, that's $36 plus whatever's already in here or whatever money I add into this. Then I can go buy myself X amount of books or 1 book. It's going to be my incentive to make sure that I'm reading all of the books that are on my shelf, because I want to start reading books as I buy them rather than just getting 17,000 books at once and then not reading them because I don't want to read them anymore. So we'll see kind of how this goes. It might end up where I up the price or whatever. I don't really know. But that's going to be the incentive to read all the book. Now, for the ones that I do not read, those will be going into a second chance kind of area on my bookshelf. And basically, there is a question in here that is second chance book. So if I do pick that one, then I have to read one of those. Otherwise, if I land on one and it fits, then I will try to choose one of those, because basically I'm going to kind of make this a challenge. I want to make this so by the time that I have filled out my little game piece with all the pieces of pie that I've earned, that if I have not read the books that are on my second chance shelf, those have to get unhauled. So that way I can still try to read them, whether it's choosing it in my cup challenge or I roll it on there. It's kind of like the second chance book. So if I actually really want to read it, I'll be more willing and more encouraged to read that book. And if I don't really want to read it and I haven't read it by the time that this is completed, then I have to unhaul it. So it will hopefully make me realize what books I do want to read, what books I don't want to read. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever doing this, so the rules may change. But I do kind of like the way that this is. And also this wheel is super colorful. So I am going to try to aim for 6 books every month. I think that's doable. I have a lot of spare time on my hands right now, so that's about at least 1 book a week, maybe, whatever. And then also another thing that I'm going to do is that if I get the same color twice in a row, so basically let's say I land on the green and then I roll again and I land on green again, basically I will have to add another roll to my count and add a book. So for every time I roll the same colors twice, I add a roll. I'm very excited, and let's see what books I will be reading this month. And for this month, I will be using my little Pop Funko Belle. So she'll be right there. So like I said, I have 5 rolls. So let's see. Roll number 1, 2. All right. Which way do I want to go? All right. So I chose to go through a classic first because I want to read the classics. So for the first roll, I rolled a classic, and I'm going to consider this a classic because I think that this is a classic, and I've been really wanting to start this series, and this is book 1 in the Hardy Boys. This is the Tower Treasure. It's by Franklin W. Dixon. Basically, I think it's just the boy version of Nancy Drew, so I think that there's 2 boys. I see there's a lot of Goodwill, and I have I want to say 5 or 6 of them, and I have been really wanting to read these books because I used to like mystery a lot when I was a kid, and I haven't really been reading a lot of mystery as I've gotten older. So I'm definitely going to start reading this so I can start the series. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. Oh, number 2, 7. Let me go around this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have cup challenge. Roll number 2 was a cup challenge, so we're going to choose book number 2. Out of comfort zone. So basically I just chose a book. This would maybe be something that I just normally wouldn't grab, or that I don't really have a kind of inkling to read. I do have a few of these. This could be like a classic book. This could be just one of my adult books that I just normally probably wouldn't pick up, a children's book, etc., etc. So this is probably a weird one, but I'm going to choose The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. I've had this book for a really long time. I bought it at Goodwill one day. I don't remember if I ever watched the movie. But I just know that when I don't know why I grabbed this. I do this thing a lot at Goodwill where I see a book and I'm like, oh, I've heard of that, let me grab that and read it. I'm just not someone who really reads too many like adult fiction kind of books unless it's like adult fantasy. But from what I can remember, I think is it Christine from Pulling Bananas Books like loves this book. And I did just read her book and her main character really liked this book. So I will read this one. Roll number 3. That is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a romance. And the next roll was a romance. For romance, I chose Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. This is one of my more recent purchases. Basically, I read November 9 by her and I really enjoyed the writing, and so I definitely wanted to pick up another book, and I just haven't gotten around to it. So the synopsis of this book, it's about a girl named Sydney, and she pretty much thinks that she has the perfect life. She has a great job, a great boyfriend, she lives with her best friend, and she finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her, so she has to figure out what basically the next chapter of her life is going to be. And in between this, she meets a mysterious and attractive neighbor called Ridge, and basically you can probably guess what's going to happen. They're probably going to end up together, but I am excited to read this and dive more into Colleen Hoover's works because I did really like her other books, so I'm hoping that this one will be a great one too. Okay. So far we haven't rolled the same color twice, so that's good. 1. Oh, another cup challenge. That means we have to add another roll. The next one that I got was another challenge cup, which means not only do I have to pick another challenge from the cup, it means that I had to roll again. So, give me something good. Most recent purchase. Now this could actually be a good thing because most recent purchase was a kind of lot of books, but I think I read all of them. I ended up choosing a Poison, Dark, and Drowning by Jessica Cluess, which is the second book in the Kingdom on Fire series. I read the first one, which is A Shadow Bright and Burning, a while ago, and I don't really remember, so I wanted to continue. I'm gonna have to just like do like a complete like review of the series. Synopsis of this is about a girl named Henrietta. Again, she kind of thinks that she has a normal life until she is forced to use magic to save her friend, which had powers that she didn't even know that she had. After which she basically gets asked to join this kind of sorcerer society where she kind of has to train her powers up, and they basically think that she's kind of like this chosen one. It's set in Victoria, London, and it is kind of a whole mess with all of the ancient sorcerers. They really do think that she's the chosen one. It was really interesting. I really did enjoy the book, so I'm excited to kind of re-dive back into this universe and read the second book. Another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're adding a fantasy. The next roll that I had was fantasy, and for this I am going to be reading Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman. This is the first book in Blood of Gods and Royals. I've had this book for a while. I think I bought it because it was like a bargain book. But basically, I don't really know too much about it. It's basically, I'll just read the kind of synopsis it says. Imagine a time when the gods turn a blind eye to the agony of men, when the last of the Hellions roam the plains, and evil stirs beyond their edges of the map. A time where cities burn, and in their ashes, empires rise. So, basically, it mentions a whole bunch of people they're probably gonna meet. I don't really know. Really don't know too much about it, but basically, a lot of people, action and fantasy lovers, will gobble it up. So I've been really wanting to read this for a while, even though I don't know too much about it. So I'm excited to finally get this one off of my TBR shelf. So that means this is our final roll, unless I roll on the same color. Jesus, why do I keep doing that? So 4. Round 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have in other. And the last roll that I had was a green, which was other. So basically for this one I can choose anything. I can choose nonfiction or even all the ones that I kind of mentioned before. I'm going to look around my bookshelf and pick out a book to fit this one. So for other, I chose to choose a reread. I chose Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. So basically, every year I start a reread. Normally I start the reread in July because my birthday is on July 31st, which is Harry Potter's birthday. So every year in July, since I've started reading these books, I like to try to fit the whole entire series in July, which ended up not working because not only is that just a lot, it is probably my most busiest month during the summer and even in the year. So I decided, why not use this book and basically have it be the 7 books leading up to my birthday. So that means that in July, around my birthday, I will reread the last book in the series. But yeah, I've really wanted to reread the series. I just love the series so much. It means so much to me. So I am definitely happy that I can fit this in. So the 6 books that I will be reading this month look like this. I think that I can do this. This is a little bit, I'm posting this a little bit late. It is the 6th, I think, so 1 week in, but I definitely do think that I can do it. This month I have a lot of work, but a lot of my jobs that I will be doing, I'll have a lot of downtime. I think that I can get through these, and I'm excited. I actually think that this is a pretty good mixture. So as I was editing this video, I realized that in the beginning I said that I would roll 6 times and I was trying for 6 books. I, for some reason, only rolled 5, making it 6 including my extra roll. So I'm going to really quickly roll again, and then I will add another book to the pile that I already have. Okay. 3. Contemporary. Alright, so the contemporary that I'm going to add to the list of books that you have already seen is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I've had this book since I was in London. I actually bought this book in there, and I kind of bought it, 1, because I wanted to read it, but 2, it was a signed edition, so I kind of was like, I gotta get it. So yeah, I've been really wanting to read this. I've only read Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, and I really did enjoy that book. I don't really know why I've been pushing this one off so much, but I'm excited to finally check this off on my list. So I will be adding this to my TBR. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed my first edition of the TBR Pursuit game. Basically, the way that I'm going to do it is kind of every month that I do another TBR Pursuit, I will start the video off by kind of doing a recap of the books that I read, if I completed all of the books, and if I don't complete them, then we will do the challenge, and if we, we'll figure it out from there. Like I said, this is my first month, but I'm super excited to start the series. People that inspired me for this kind of booktube series that I'm going to start, I will have the links down below, as well as my social media accounts if you want to follow me there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please make sure to subscribe to this video if you liked this. I'm definitely going to be trying to post more videos on here because I just have a lot of fun connecting with other people that read, and so I'm really excited to start making more videos. And make sure, if you like this video, to give it a thumbs up. That would be pretty great too. But I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys for my next video. Bye!